Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss Show. And in today's episode, bruh, people are still hating on Bad Bunny for his halftime performance at the Super Bowl. And I'm like, it's getting to a point where I'm like, okay, enough is enough. Alright, if you a Trump supporter and racist and everything else that's been called to Trump and his supporters, then just say that. But trying to tear down a man that ain't did nothing to you besides exist, it gets to a point where it's like, okay, enough is enough. Like, leave this man alone. He ain't did nothing to nobody. And I know people gonna probably be all like, you a Bad Bunny fan? Yes. And it's not because of his music. It's because this man, so some years back, he had wrestled at this pay-per-view. It was a wrestling pay-per-view called Backlash. And because I think that's what it was. It took place in Puerto Rico, where he's from. And so, no, yeah, he came out there and bro killed it. It's, and I've been watching wrestling for years. It's very rare when you see celebrities, they're like actually following wrestling. They're actually good at wrestling. He wrestled up against this guy named Damian Priest, and I was like, wow, I'm actually shocked. I'm over there, and it's like, that's kind of like, because I'm not saying that, he's on that same level as Michael Jackson. But, I mean, when he went out there, the way that them fans was going crazy, it's like, yeah, he's definitely like a Puerto Rican Michael Jackson. Like, the way that he had them fans going crazy. So, but no, it's like seeing somebody like him getting into the wrestling ring and stuff. It's like, and then him being good at it, too. So that's why I'm like, yeah, bro, it was definitely a sight to see when he was wrestling and stuff. But, no, overall, though, I was all like, okay, there ain't no reason for me, even before he was in wrestling, I'm like, still, there ain't no reason for me to hate on Bad Bunny. There ain't no reason for me to look at him differently, all that stuff. I guess with me, it's just because I'm not racist. So that's why you'll never see me say anything bad about Bad Bunny and stuff. But no, I seen this TMZ article where the headline was, or is Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime show concert too sexualized and disgusting for viewers. FCC complaints piled in. And I'm thinking to myself, what was, I guess, like, because I'm confused. Like, what was so sexual about the performance? Like, I mean, there was a moment where some women was dancing, but I feel like if that's the only thing that you picked up on, that just shows you where your mind was at, but I think that halftime performance show, just like last year's halftime performance show, there was a message behind it. And if you ain't see, my thing is this. If you didn't see or hear what that message was, then yeah, you're a part of the problem. You're the reason why people after that halftime performance, I mean, even before, they're going to look at you differently. Because if you're one of those people, and that's the thing where I'm all like, there's all the different things that you could be talking about in the world, but you sit down amongst your friends and you start talking badly about Bad Bunny's halftime performance, I'm like, it has to, and the only reason why I feel like somebody would do that is because of the environment that they're in. They're surrounded by a bunch of Trump supporters. But if it's me and my friends, and I guess like with us, like at least for me, like I thought it was a good halftime performance show. I did sit down and watch it, and I thought it was good. But I'm not really, I guess, like, I was into last year's, because it was Kendrick Lamar, so I'm like, he is one of my favorite artists and stuff, but I'm like, I guess that's how I look at Bad Bunny. Like, I'm not really into his music like that. Like, there have been some songs of his that I've heard where I'm like, okay, they're good. I just gotta go on Genius.com to know what the man is saying, but other than that, I'm like, I can understand why people like his music, because they have that same feel that I feel when I'm listening to music that I like. And I think that's all that matters when it comes down like that. That's why they literally have a halftime performance show, is for this man, on top of promoting his music, but to give people that, like, you're getting a chance to see Bad Bunny live. Like, why would the NFL take that away from people? Because let's say if it came down between seeing his halftime performance show or seeing what Trump had put on during, I guess, because so during that time of when Bad Bunny was having his halftime performance, Trump was having his own little halftime show, and he had Kid Rock performing. Can we really compare Kid Rock to Bad Bunny? Because if that, hold on for a second, let me just open up Spotify and see, the monthly listeners and stuff, because I'm curious. Maybe I'm underestimating Kid Rock. But okay, so Bad Bunny, 101 million monthly listeners. Let's see Kid Rock's. You know, it may be, maybe just, you know, we might be okay. Yep, it's not a fair comparison. 6.9 million, and we're comparing. If anybody's gonna try to convince me that Kid Rock is better than Bad Bunny, like I said, you're a part of the problem, okay? Like, and I understand what side of the spectrum you fall on and stuff. So, but no, anyways, no, let's read this TMZ article. I feel like that I can go on and on and on ranting about the people that don't like Bad Bunny, because I mean I'm just confused. Like, there's no reason to hate on this man. He ain't did nothing to nobody. But anyways, yeah, let's read this article. So it starts off by saying Bad Bunny, and this was posted on TMZ. I think I might have established that. But anyways, Bad Bunny's Super Bowl halftime performance pulled 128.2 million viewers, but also garnered some intense backlash from people upset about the content of the performance. TMZ obtained more than 2,000 complaints sent to the FCC following February Super Bowl halftime show, LX, which is what it's like 40, 50 or whatever. I don't know. But anyways, I'm not good when it comes down to like the Roman numerals and all that stuff. I know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I know, yeah, all the way up until 10. And then after that, I think when it has like the X, when they start having like L's and all the other different letters and all that stuff, I'm like, nah, bro, you lost me. So, but anyways, then it goes on to say more than 100 involved messages that the Puerto Rican superstar performance was raunchy, full of dirty sex talk, and all around inappropriate. Wasn't there a part where a kid was sleeping on like some seats or something? And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, what did you see wrong with that? There was like, I guess because there was a lot more to it, but I'm like, fam, I'm confused. Like, I don't, but you know what? Let's say next year, I'm trying to think of, okay, yeah, let's just say next year. Let's say they Kid Rock, same exact thing. It's just his music that's playing. These same people, they wouldn't have said nothing about his halftime performance show. But anyways, I guess, like, you know, let's just, I feel like that should be a much more better question. Who did these people vote for? They complained about Bad Bunny's halftime performance, all right? Who did they vote for to be president of the United States? And I feel like that should, you know, overall cancel out all the quote-unquote complaints that he's getting and stuff. But anyways, then TMZ, they go on to say, just check out some of the complaints in our gallery. Many people protested about his alleged gyrating, with one viewer claiming they felt they were forced to see a man's privates, pretty much. And I'm thinking to myself, like, where did that, the man was wearing a white, because they're showing a picture of him. I can't tell whether it's supposed to be a suit or what, but I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, people, they look into deep into the performance. But anyways, others were peeved. He grabbed his crotch while another person complained dancers allegedly grabbed each other's breast. Man, I'm so confused, because I'm like, what did you guys like? I don't know. Maybe they seen a different halftime performance show. Maybe they were on a different website or something. I don't know. But anyways, folks were agitated that they were unable to understand his Spanish lyrics, while others were appalled by what his lyrics said. Several complaints said if the inappropriate and sexualized words were sung in English, there would have been even more uproar. Others called his messaging anti-American. Wasn't he at the end of the performance? I can't remember what it was like. I think it was a message that he had on the football, but I think it was overall saying, like, you know, everybody just needs to come together and things. And I'm just, man, I'm telling you, like, it's crazy how, like, when people, and I guarantee and I promise you that's the case with everybody that's complaining, they probably heard this from somebody, you know, whether it was Trump or one of his friends or another supporter or a popular supporter amongst the Trump community, and then yeah, they're just running with it and stuff. Because I'm like, to me, that just don't even make no sense. I'm like, I ain't seen none of that. But anyways, and then it goes on to say, and even accused Bad Bunny of speaking in a demonic tongue. It's called Spanish. Like, people, I'm telling you, man, it's funny how, like, they will dance around that bush of being racist, but they don't want to classify themselves as a racist. You know, like, oh, I'm not racist. just racially not unsocial. And I'm like, oh, so it's just a proper term of saying racist. It's like, yeah, you're not racist, you're just racially unsocial. I understand it now. Then TMZ, they go on to say there were oodles, I think that's that word, more complaints, but you get the idea. As you know, Bad Bunny's performance as the halftime show entertainer was heavily debated before the big game. Haters called him anti-American, and Charlie Kirk's organization Turning Point USA even made an alternate halftime show titled the All-American Halftime Show, featuring Kid Rock, Bradley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and Gabby Barrett. Who are those people? I only know Kid Rock, but I don't know about any of the other ones. Like it's funny. Bradley Gilbert, he must be a somebody of fame because they have his name highlighted in red, so he has some other TMZ articles about him. But Lee Brice and Gabby Barrett, yeah, I don't know them. But anyways. Then it ends off with saying, but with nearly 130 million viewers, it's clear the haters didn't overshadow Bad Bunny's undeniable popularity. By the way, Kendrick Lamar and Rihanna and other past performers racked up plenty of complaints also. You can't please everyone. Yeah, because yeah, they're like, okay, so yeah, the only other article that they have about this Brantley Gilbert guy is that he joined Hulk Hogan's beer company. So I'm like, and yeah, that's not something I'm like, it just overall showcasing that, you know, racist people, they do stick together in things. But anyways, yeah, if you ask me, you know, somebody that's not a Trump supporter, didn't vote for Trump, you know, would rather see Trump out of office than in office. So if you ask me, how did I feel about Bad Bunny's halftime performance show? The only thing that I guess I can say is that, you know, I wish they would have done was maybe add some subtitles at the bottom so you can understand what he's saying. But if not, then it's like, okay, I'm not a lazy person. I do have access to the internet, and whatever songs that he did sing, if I sit down and take the time to, I'll just go on genius.com and look up the lyrics and what he was overall saying and stuff. But yeah, overall though, I didn't see nothing wrong with his halftime performance show. You know, like, and even I just remember when Rihanna, when she was doing her halftime performance show, people were complaining she wasn't dancing and moving around enough. But the woman was pregnant. And that's what I was all like, you know, people getting upset over some stuff like that. I'm like, do you want her to just, yeah, baby is just, you know, flying back and forth in her stomach like, dang, what is going on out there? Like, it was so calm, cool, and relaxed. All of a sudden, I start hearing, you know, music, and then I'm out here flying around in a stomach like Superman. So that wouldn't have worked out. Then, yeah, with Kendrick Lamar's, his halftime performance show, that I had to say that was probably in the recent years, yes, that was my favorite halftime performance show because of the message that was being put out there, and then of course, you know, Not Like Us being performed. What else? Yeah, it was an all around good show and things. So that's why I'm like, I feel like that there are people out there that they're just flat out racist. If a person of color is, cause when, whatchamacallit, didn't Coldplay perform one year? I ain't hear no complaints with them. And I'm like, but it seems like when it gets down to Rihanna, oh, it just seemed very, you know, and this is overall what they're saying. Oh, it's very dark. It's too colorful up on stage and stuff. I don't like all the colors and things. But I'm like, let a white person go up there and stuff perform. I'm trying to think of somebody. What's that one country singer, Morgan Wallen? I think that's that guy's name. You let him go up there and start singing, and it's like, you know what? And the funny thing is, what's that one guy? I can't think of that black country singer, but he's been blowing up because I think he has like a song called Tipsy. Let's see, Shabuzi, I think that's how you say his name. I guarantee it, in that band, he sings country music. If he were to get up on stage or do a halftime performance show, now in the NFL, they should put it to the test. Have that man up on doing a halftime performance show. I guarantee and I promise you, people are still gonna be saying something racist. At that point, if he ever does a halftime performance show, regardless of whatever music he has playing and all that, I know it's gonna be the majority of his music that's gonna be playing and stuff. But I guarantee and I promise you, people are still gonna be saying something racist. So that's why I'm like, yeah, these complaints, they're not complaints complaining about his Bad Bunny's halftime performance show. They complaining about the race that was up there doing the halftime performance show. And that's why I'm like, I just think that it's stuff like that, it just needs to get thrown out. It's like, if you racist, say that, but don't sit here and try to hide and come up with all these things that ain't nobody was paying attention to. Y'all are the only ones talking about that. All right. So anyways, yeah, you ask me, how did I feel about his halftime performance show? There was nothing wrong with it. I'm like, if that's what that man wants to go up there and do, he is entitled to do whatever he is, what he wants, whatever songs he wants to sing, whatever messages he wants to put out. That man got the God-given rights to do all of that stuff, talking on Bad Bunny. But overall, though, if you don't like it, then I'm like, fam, then go watch the Turning Point USA halftime show. I'm like, yeah, watch the All-American halftime show. And I'm like, yeah, it's just all racism. That's what's going on during that halftime show. But anyways, I know it was funny, though, because people, I remember they were trying to say, like, oh, the halftime show got all these different, the Trump halftime show, or Charlie Kirk, whatever you want to call it, that halftime show got all these views. But like, who's gonna sit down and watch that? I'm like, and it's funny because there were, like, obviously the people that didn't, that was like, yeah, they had a problem with Bad Bunny's halftime show. They were watching Bad Bunny's halftime show over this show. It's like, yeah, ain't nobody gonna pay money to go see Kid Rock unless you a Kid Rock fan. But other than that, it's like, yeah, they know it's, if I paid money to go to the Super Bowl, actually, you know what? No, I think there was, there was a girl that had, she went viral for going to the halftime show, having her phone out during the halftime performance, and was watching Kid Rock's, watching it while she was at the Super Bowl, and she posted this video of herself dancing to his music and stuff. And I was like, that, to me, it's things like that that's embarrassing. It's like, ma'am, come on now. You're a full-grown adult. Like, act like it. But anyways, but nah, man, I just think that, people, they gotta stop being racist. There ain't no reason to be racist to Bad Bunny. He ain't did nothing to you personally besides exist. So, but anyways, with that being said, I'll talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow or subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.